Hey love, it's Maggie here. Um, I felt called to create a short video on what self-love actually means. Now, I admit that it can be a little bit difficult to define or to put in a box to describe what this means because it is so different for everyone. And there are so many perspectives and emotions around it. But what it truly means for me is following our truth. Who are we in essence? And what are we doing to honor that and to live from that place every day? I feel a woman who loves herself so deeply is free to do as she chooses, right? Simply because she desires it and she knows she deserves it. She knows she's so worthy of her desires. This is the woman who you were before you received all this, the input from the outside world on how you should be and what you should be doing with your life. So self-love really brings this kind of natural sense of freedom to just be who you want, right? Do what you want. And you are then 100% comfortable with that. Now, I say 100%, but of course, sometimes, life just feels like shit and painful and you're scared. But what self love then does in those instances is that you can use whatever is happening in the external to your advantage, because there's always something to learn. There's always something that is mirroring back to you for you to grow or expand or to love even deeper. So whatever is happening in your life is actually really important for you because you always get to choose and make your own rules from there. And self-love then does whatever the hell it likes. For me, self-love, it's such a beautiful act of allowing. You are allowing yourself to be all that you are, right? You stop needing validation from the external, but it comes from within. And that feels so juicy and more true, more genuine. And loving yourself is not that it's not that you will love yourself in the future once you do this or you lose that weight or find that perfect man. It means right now. It means right now, as you are, everything that you are right now, your body, your entire body, inside and out, the way you smell, the way you look, the way your skin is, your beauty, your strengths, your weaknesses, your power, your inner bitch, everything. You love everything right now as it is. One thing that I really have come to realize is that all parts of us are equally lovable, right? We may not like our inner bitch or inner judgmental self, but we were given a bitchy side, an aggressive and shadow side, just like our sweet and loving and kind self. And we can use all these parts of us to our advantage in different situations, right? You can use them to get what you want. You can use them to go after your desires. You can use them to figure out who you truly are and what you truly want and what you truly want to leave behind in this world. But this really means, again, embracing all of you. And that in turn then inspires others to do the exact same thing. It becomes this beautiful ripple effect. So let's talk about how it feels when you love yourself. So one thing to really tune into how it feels when you love yourself, because I get this question, well, how do I know when I love myself? You can think about, how does it feel when you absolutely love another being, like your child, your lover, your parents, your pets? How do you know that you love them? How can you tell that you so unconditionally love them? How does that feel in your body? Well, that's how it will feel when you love yourself too. It's the same feeling. And you are the only person that can give that to yourself, because if you're looking in the external for that love to fill, right, fill that hole, it will never fill that hole inside of you. Only you can do that for yourself. And I feel that is one of the keys of life and being in that human body, right? So the process of loving ourselves more deeply can sometimes be very painful and feel icky and shitty, right? And that is totally normal, because a lot of purging is being done in the process. We're getting to the core, and in order to get to the core, we have to remove all the muck, right? We are going through the muck, and that entire process allows you to love that part of you as well, right? It's all done for a reason. So moving through the muck and releasing all the limits and the shitty thoughts and the hate that you put on yourself is all part of the process for you to drop deeper into that core, right? So I have heard the 2-to-1 pleasure pain rule once. I think it's from Layla Martin. And I really love this, and I want to share it with you. This means that the 2-to-1 pleasure and pain rule, right? So it means when you are doing the healing and there's pain to feel and move through, right? That's the only way to get through, is to move through it. When you work on that, you are committed to feel twice as much pleasure every time. So for example, you are healing limiting beliefs or some trauma, and it feels so overwhelming or painful. Right afterwards, allow yourself to feel twice as much pleasure. So make love, eat chocolate, self-pleasure, go for a beautiful nature walk. This retrains your body to experience pleasure on a more regular basis instead of pain. And it is that sensuality and using of your senses after those painful experiences, using our senses with our entire bodies, and that awareness of pleasure in our lives, that is what we want, right? So I hope this was helpful for you. And of course, as always, please let me know if you have any questions. And I am sending you so much love. Bye.